Hey Samford fans, welcome into this week's edition of the Student Athlete Spotlight presented by Coca-Cola. I'm John McAfee. Very happy today to be joined by senior second baseman on the softball team, Whitney Hinton. Whitney, I appreciate you being here and congrats on a good weekend, a 4-0 weekend here at home.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's start by just having you tell us a little bit about what brought you to Samford. You are an Alabama native, so just talk a little bit about the recruiting process and what attracted you to Samford University.
So I actually come to a couple softball camps at Samford and just automatically fell in love with it, the traditions of the program, Coach Mandy, and just kind of how they did things. It was like a family, and the beautiful campus obviously caught my eye, and so when I left camp, I just knew that I wanted to come here. So
I've talked with Mandy about your decision to come back as well as the decision of Taylor DeSalle and Catherine Jackson to come back, and I know Mandy has said that you were really the first one to say, hey, I want to come back for another year. So just kind of walk us through it from your perspective, when the season was canceled. What's going on in your mind, and what were some of the discussions you had with Coach Mandy Johnson as well as Catherine Jackson and Taylor DeSalle?
Yeah, so at the end of last year was obviously super devastating, but there was obviously talk about, we might get another year to play or whatever, and I knew the whole time in the back of my head, I was like, if I get the opportunity, I'm going to take it. And obviously talked to Kat and Taylor a lot about it. They were huge factors in my decision. They're my best friends, and when they decided to come back too, it just made me so much more sure of my decision, and Coach Mandy obviously had a big impact about it too. She was super encouraging, told me that she would do everything she could to help us get another year, so I'm just super, super thankful to be here and to get another opportunity to play.
Well, coming into the season, you were one home run shy of tying the program's all-time home run record, 2 shy of breaking it. I'm sure that's something that you were aware of because you were getting close last year before the cancellation, but coming into the season, is that something you're actively thinking about, or is it something that's just kind of pushed to the back of your mind?
It was definitely in the back of my mind coming into the season. I knew I was near to it. I didn't know exactly how many or what, but it's just kind of in the back of my head, I guess.
Well, we got to talk about how you broke the record because you tied it at home against Jacksonville State, and then you go on the road for a doubleheader at Troy this past week, and you hit it inside the Parker in Game 2 of that doubleheader. And so just kind of walk us through that. When did you realize, when the ball came off the bat, when did you realize that you might hit an inside the park home run?
Well, funny story. I actually thought the ball was foul. So I'm like, halfway jogging down first base line, and I look at Coach Mandy, and she's like waving me on. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so I'm running home, and I score, and I get in the dugout, and everyone was like, you just broke the record, you just broke the record. And I was like, what? No way, and then talked to Coach Mandy, and she was like, you just broke the record. And I was like, they count an inside the park home run? Like, does that count? And she was like, yeah. So it was awesome. My teammates were super supportive and encouraging, so it was fun.
Let's talk a little bit about the season so far and where you guys are at as a team, coming off a really good weekend. You went 4-0 here in the Samford softball tournament. So just kind of look back over the first few weeks of the season, and what are some of the positives and negatives that you've seen with this team?
It was really fun going 4-0. It's been a minute since we've done that, and it's super fun, super exciting to see what this group can accomplish. I think we're really good. I think we have a really good group. Our pitching staff looks awesome. We have some incredible freshmen and just probably the best team chemistry that I've been a part of here. It's great. I think we're going to do really big things, and I have really high hopes.
Well, it seems like you're starting to heat up at the plate as well. 7 for 14 in that Samford softball tournament, 3 straight multi-hit games. Do you feel like you're starting to get into that groove at the plate right now?
I guess I'm starting to kind of catch a groove now. Took me a minute, but we're getting the hang of it.
Well, looking ahead at the next couple of weeks of your schedule, you're going to have the Ole Miss tournament this weekend, so you're going to see Ole Miss, which will be the second SEC team you faced this year. You had Kentucky back in the season opening weekend. Just talk about being able to play some of those Power 5 programs and what that does to help prepare you for conference play.
I'm really excited to go to Ole Miss this weekend. We obviously already played Kentucky, and that was fun, and we always get super pumped about just playing SEC teams or ranked teams in general, and so I think it really helps us, especially when we come back to conference, have a little bit of confidence under our belt and just ready to go.
And then you guys will start SoCon play towards the end of the month, and by the time that point rolls around, it will have been 2 years since you guys have played a league game, which is hard to believe, but you didn't get any SoCon games in last year. You got to be excited about getting back into league play again.
That is crazy that you say that it has been 2 years, but it is true, and I am super pumped about conference play. Like I said, I have really high hopes for this team, and conference always means more, and it's always more fun, so I'm super pumped about that.
All right, Whitney, we're going to end with some rapid-fire questions.
Okay.
We're going to do some about you and some about your team. Let's start with favorite thing about Samford.
I guess my friends.
Okay. Favorite hobby outside of softball?
Tennis. We've gotten really big into tennis.
Really? Is that like the whole team does tennis?
It's just people that live off campus usually, but we've gotten into some tennis.
Are you pretty good at tennis now?
We're still working on it.
Biggest pet peeve?
Probably nails on a chalkboard.
Favorite place you've ever traveled?
Ooh. I have to say California.
Okay. How about one place you've never traveled but would like to visit?
Paris.
Dream job.
I want to work in a nursing home and be a nursing home administrator. I love old people, so.
All right, let's move on to your teammates. Biggest prankster.
Oh, Catherine. She's just a big jokester, so she's always got something up her sleeve.
Who has the best pregame playlist?
McKenna.
Most likely to go into coaching.
Probably Taylor.
Most likely to be famous.
Makai was the first person I thought of, so maybe Makai.
What would she be famous for?
I don't know. She's hilarious, so maybe a comedian or something.
Biggest cheerleader in the dugout.
Oh, we have so many. I'd say Merritt.
All right, Whitney, I appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping by, and congrats again on the 4-0 weekend, and good luck this weekend at the Ole Miss tournament.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That's Samford softball senior Whitney Hinton. I'm John McAfee. That'll do it for this edition of the Student Athlete Spotlight presented by Coca-Cola.